All right, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back into another video. Today's video, I bring some news, or at least I'm breaking them down because I'm not the one who brought the news. Instead, the Paladins the Game Twitter official page of their Twitter account, whatever the hell you want to call it, they have come up with this little teaser. And this is not the only thing we're going to be talking about, but for anybody who doesn't know what this is, I'm going to break it down real fast for you. This is a teaser for survival. However, I might be wrong. And here's why. The last few times that I had something that seemed pretty obvious and pretty straightforward as a teaser to something, it turns out that it wasn't. Because somebody back at Evil Mojo apparently has either lack of information when it comes to certain things, or they just have no notion when it comes to how to do teasers. Because, for example, if you guys remember, I did a video saying that Paladin's Battlegrounds could potentially come back. Why? Because they used the picture from Paladin's Battlegrounds. After I did the video, somebody came up from the Evil Mojo team saying, "Oh, it's just a Paladin's picture." Up until recently, some of these teasers were a bit more obvious. Because if it was a picture of a certain thing, then that's what it was supposed to be. There was an intended logic to what picture or what teaser was used, what sentence, the way that the teaser was done, not misleading us into a brand new character, for example, when it was just a skin talking for all the teasers now, apparently. You see what I'm getting at, right? So this is supposed to be survival, but it might not be. As far as I'm concerned, this could potentially be the mode they did on Halloween where everything is super foggy, and maybe they're just teasing us the LTM. However, chances are that it is survival. I know I'm contradicting myself a little bit, but give me a second. So what they say here is weather anomalies are being reported in the Ico tundra as the flash freeze that created the junction seemingly is making a return. So making a return might be a reference to the survival mode coming back, and I'll show you in just a second what survival is. And then they say civilians are recommended to stock up and bunker down for the incoming fog. Again, it could still be the fog LTM. I don't know. But if you scroll down, you'll see some people actually talking about, the survival. For example, this person said, "Ayo, we can finally get that one achievement." Because if you didn't know, there was an achievement that specifically stated that if you were the last one alive in a match, both enemies and allies included, you would get that achievement. I think it was the last one standing or something like that. I do have a tutorial on my YouTube channel. You guys can go and check it out if this doesn't work, if this mode comes back and it doesn't work for it, on how you can do it in bots with a couple of friends. And then you help each other doing it. But essentially, that was the only mode that would allow you to do the achievement. And then whoever has the Paladins Game Twitter account said, "To be the last one standing is an honor to be earned, now as it was always intended." So, last one standing is the name of the achievement, and they're essentially telling us that now, it will as intended. However, there's a thing. I don't know if this is a mode that is just going to be coming back for one patch, as an LTM, as a custom mode. I don't know. Because one thing is certain, if this mode doesn't come back to at least to stay available, even if it is in training matches, right? Even just in training matches, people will never be able to do the achievement again once it's gone. So, yeah. Now let me show you what the mode is. Right, the mode would consist, this would work in a couple different maps. This ice map is one of them. The video we're looking at right now is from Yoshino, a former member of the community, an awesome dude. He ended up stopped doing Paladins content back in the day and became a community manager for the team that develops the games of Worms. But it is not the first time that I've asked him if I can use some of his footage for, for references, and he's always been super nice about it. Just go ahead. So, and here I am with that footage. That's that footage. And in the footage, as you can see, everything seems pretty normal. As you can see, however, in the top, it has a different score system. It goes to 0 from 5, goes from all the way from 0 to 5, right? And first team to reach 5 wins. But how do you reach the 5? So this is actually per rounds. In each round, you only have 1 life. That's it. You die, you only respawn the next round. And this is essentially like a little battle royale mode. Because the fog, as you can see here, the fog will start closing in. You'll hear a horn, and the fog will start closing in the very, like, all the way till the center. It's like a big storm going really fast. It will deal damage if you're staying outside, and you will have to move to the epicenter right there, as you can see right there, right, which is exactly in the middle of the map. And this is this is actually the mode that they stated that before battle royales were all blowing up, Apex even coming out and so on, before they even decided to do battlegrounds, before Fortnite was even being, famous, this was their mode, which was essentially like a mini battle royale. And this mode was actually pretty interesting. It almost worked in a way as a search and destroy sort of game mode, because it is a TDM in a way, but here's the thing. If you die, you have to wait till next round. So you essentially can have a lot more stakes in the game, right? Like it's a lot harder, because you might just take one single shot and you're out for that round, right? And people will have to be super careful. It is super rare to have the epicenter with 5v5. It can happen, but it was a very fun game mode. It was different from all the stuff we have now, right? Even Payload is still pretty just, still like a siege mode. And this was the only one that was different. The way that you played, like you die, you have to wait for the next round. First team to win 5 points wins. As it's obvious, you will gain a point from being the team that has the only, when the enemy team doesn't have any alive elements and your team does have alive elements, you gain a point. So there you see, like either you or your team has to remain alive and you gain a point. So first team to 5 wins. This is super fast too, because that circle will start closing immediately. There's no time for nothing. I believe you start off with like 1,000 credits. And it was super fun. I remember playing it. Unfortunately, this is around the time that I also started playing. So back in the day, I didn't had any footage of this because I only started doing like YouTube pretty much when I reached like level 40 or 80 or whatever the heck it was. I don't remember. And I'm gonna put this here to play here just for a second. No sound, because I would have to change all the stuff on OBS right now, and I don't have the patience for that. And I don't know if you can see here around, but we should be able to see the fog closing in. All right, you see everybody's just fighting. You see the little X's on tops, which means those people are out. They're not coming back until next round. This round is pretty already over, but you see already the fog in those areas, right? Like everything is starting to disappear. The fog is getting pretty close now. You see there the fog. Let's see if we find here a round where in here you actually crashed. I remember seeing this video already. That was funny. Yeah, I don't think. So the 2 maps that we have available for this before you start asking, it is this map and the Tribunal map. The one where you it'd be easier for me to show you. I don't have the game open. But I could do this. Paladins Wiki. That's also a way for you guys to go and check out some of these things. And you can just come in here and search for survival. And when searching for survival, it will show you the game mode survival that has been removed, right? Apparently this video has been removed as well. I don't know what map I don't know what that is, but here are the maps. Primal Court and Snowfall Junction. So Primal Court, I believe you guys know what this map is, right? And then Snowfall Junction, which is the one we just saw. So yeah, it's very much likely it's going to be that, because the achievement can be obtained this way. If your entire team dies and you're the last one standing, you get the achievement of the last one standing. But we'll see. I mean, I don't know if it's coming up as an LTM or not. Only time will tell. Now, enough about that. So, survival might or might not come over as an LTM or as a permanent mode or whatever. And again, just shout out to Shishino. He's no longer producing no content and even Paladin's content at all. But he was a massive content creator on Paladins. As you can see, he was actually very close to 100K. And I think he started losing subs after no longer producing content. As you can see, the last time he did a video was 4 years ago. And it was I was from this era, right? Like, this is one of the people I used to follow that actually inspired me to do Paladins and everything, and he created a lot of good content. But yeah, enough about that. So let's go back to the Paladins the game Twitter, and they mention this week in the realm we begin previews of the 7.2 and turn up dials up for the weekend. So, patch preview, aim assist, and bullet magnetism. We need to talk about that. Community fan art, weekend LTM test maps, 3 times champion XP this weekend. So if you want to level up, I guess, your characters, get your golden skins. You know, it used to be a lot harder to get golden skins back in my day. Almost give it away now. But the battle pass still a motherfucker to complete. Yeah, so just breaking this down for you. I'm not really going to go and read everything, but essentially what they did is they nerfed aim assist. And before you all start being super pissed about it, they have tested this out quite a bit. At least I think this is what they claim. And there were specific characters that, you know, they were the worst, with like Talus, Lex, and Koga. Essentially having this thing that was, they call it a magnetism, but essentially what it would do is it would start helping you pulling towards the heads of your enemies. So not only, like, if you don't know how aim assist works and how you can make it stronger, here's a couple different ways. First of all, if you're on PC and you have more FPS, automatically your aim assist is going to work a lot harder, because by harder I mean stronger, because more FPS, the faster the game can, you know, keep up to what it's happening, and therefore aim assist is constantly refreshing a lot more. So that's the first thing. So if anybody who's from console hates this entire thing, because, you know, people on controllers on PC, yeah, that's a thing. And then there's even another thing, but I feel like that would be way too hard to explain. So I'll talk about a specific video one day, you know, about like aim assist and so on, if you guys want to talk about it. But yeah, they turned it down a little bit, and apparently they also reduced the maximum amount of bullet magnetism that both Talus, Lex, and Koga receive by 25%. So universally, they reduced the minimum amount of magnetism. But for Talus, Lex, and Koga, they reduced also the max. So the threshold is a lot smaller now. So it doesn't start straight away, right? You don't have that much pulling. But as for Talus, Lex, and Koga, it doesn't even go as much as, for example, for the others. I'm going to be honest, I don't think this was a smart idea. Even though, yes, Talus, Lex, and Koga, they have fast fire rates, and definitely they do have that. We should also take attention that every, you know, like full fire, constant fire rate character should also receive the same treatment. I mean, it doesn't take too much for people to shoot super fast with Octavia, right? Even just like scoping in and out, you can actually do this little trick and shoot super fast and get that advantage of this. Then you have Vivian, you have Victor, you have Tyra. These all shoot fast enough to be considered that. And then don't forget, Tyra even shoots faster on her ultimate, right? So I think you see my point here, right? It shouldn't be just these guys, right? Especially because, like, Lex has to wait between shots, unless, you know, you're not playing Death Hastens, that, you know, most people will probably be playing Discovery. And my god, they nerfed the other talent. Holy shit. Nobody was already playing that talent, but then they decided, Leia, we're gonna kill it. That was funny. But yeah, now they're trying to nerf all the others, and so most people will go to Death Asins. And my question is, why is Lex that much of an offender? Lex's power doesn't just come from the aim assist. It comes from the heavy damage he can pull, first of all, because guess what? Most of his damage it's on his main weapon, so it has to be strong. That's the first thing. Second of all, seeing people behind walls. So here's the thing. I'm gonna end the video here, but I got a question for you guys. What do you guys think about one of those two items about the resilience that they did actually now affect something else? Something that Hyris does not consider CC, which is duration / distance of reveals. You know, the one that just does for like knockbacks, knockups, and slows. It could have that. So essentially, for example, if a Tara marks you, this item now makes it so that the mark doesn't last as long. If it's a sensor drone from Vivian, this item makes it essentially you don't get detected as close. And you could even go as further as like you can even go as to a certain point and even make this item be usable on Sky so people can see Sky and everybody else who uses invisibility, where people can't see this much close. However, to only a certain amount, like very small amount. I'm talking about max possible, like 20% of the current distance that we can see them, right? Something like that. Or maybe not that, but at least the reveals, right? Because there's no counters to reveals unless you have something that makes your body ethereal, which means you go completely like in smoke, your body ceases to exist, you cannot be targeted. And, not every character has that. So stuff like, for example, a Tara mark, like you have the flare of Strix just like sliding right between your legs and it's showing up the entire team. Sometimes you're not even close enough, but you're being revealed. You got that sense of drone with increased distance of reveal. You got the Lex mark, right? And this item would allow you to either diminish the distance that you get detected or revealed, and if it is an ability like Tyra, where if you get marked and it has a duration, you could diminish that duration, especially because Tyra does have an item that increases the duration of that reveal. So, what do you guys think about that? Because I feel like it might not be the easiest thing for them to program in, but I've mentioned this multiple times before, and many people have agreed with it. And even though I don't think that many people see the reveal of Lex as a problem, it can be quite a problem. I mean, Lex will know where you are and they will know where to shoot at as soon as you cross that little corner. He knows he has to shoot at your head as soon as you pass that corner there. You might not even know where he is. I mean, yeah, maybe you'll hear him and you'll be looking in this direction, but he already sees you through the wall. You don't. Right? So unless you're like somebody who has like a sense of drone flare or something, you don't really have much of a chance. And he doesn't have to do much. That thing just goes automatic every time, all the time. One person will always be revealed. Simple. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know what you think about that, and also let me know if you're excited for the survival mode. And what are your thoughts on whether it's going to be an LTM or a permanent mode? Because I'm pretty sure it's going to be an LTM. I'm almost certain. Bye-bye.